I'm surrounded by over 3,000 barrels of wine, and I'm in Ningxia, in China. If you are a newcomer to the world of wine, you must have heard people talking about the Old World and the New World. Old World means labels from countries where winemaking traditions originated, like France, Italy, Spain, and Portugal. New World wines are those produced outside classic wine countries, like the US, South America, and Australia. And over the past 2 decades, China has also come into play. To understand how China's wine industry came to be, there's no better place to start than the Ningxia Autonomous Region. With a latitude similar to one of the most iconic winemaking regions in France, Ningxia is now widely known as the Bordeaux of China. It is also home to a winemaker with over 30 years of experience in the wine industry, Zhang Yanzhi. He first studied winemaking in China before heading to Bordeaux to hone his skills. In 2017, he founded Shiga Estate, one of the fastest growing wineries back here in Ningxia. Ningxia has been called like Bordeaux of China. Where do you think that name came about? And what were your thoughts when you came here and picked this spot to be where your vineyards?
中国消费者可能对葡萄酒的认知是认为法国波尔多的葡萄酒是世界上最好的葡萄酒，所以当我们在中国做葡萄酒的时候，大家都会想说我要做跟波尔多一样好的葡萄酒，所以宁夏像波尔多其实是这个层面的，而不是说宁夏产的葡萄酒跟波尔多的很像。我们决定在中国要自己做葡萄酒的时候，我们肯定要选一个在中国最适合酿好葡萄酒的地方，所以宁夏就是我们的首选之地。
There's something really quite special that you guys have to do here in the winter where you have to bury the vines. Can you tell me a bit about that?
全世界所有优秀的葡萄酒产区都有不同的挑战。我们行业里面有一句话叫是胁迫环境下优质葡萄酒的生产。那比如说宁夏相对于其他产区来讲的话，冬天的极低温可能是一个气候上的缺陷。但是呢，应对这个缺陷的话，我们就知道把葡萄埋到土里边来保护它，所以反而变成了一个优势。因为每年在埋土的时候，对土壤进行了翻动，其实特别有利于这个葡萄根系的生长。其实所有的我觉得自然的一些缺陷都有应对的方法，这就是人的作用吧，应该。
Local wineries have been setting up in Ningxia since the 1980s, but it wasn't until the 2010s that the wine industry here started to take off. International brands like LVMH began investing in the area, as more wineries from Ningxia started to win international wine awards. Despite its harsh winter, Ningxia is capable of growing most of the commercial wine grape varietals such as Cabernet Sauvignon, Pinot Noir, Chardonnay, and more. But Zhang believes there is one varietal that will represent the legacy of Ningxia and Chinese wine in the future.
中国有一个特别有趣的葡萄品种，我们中文叫蛇龙珠，英文翻译过来有很多说法，有的说是 Cabernet， 有的说是 gernischt， 但是呢都没有直接的对应，因为这个品种是在100多年前从欧洲然后引入中国的，但到了中国以后，在不同的产区适应不同的自然环境，其实已经发生了变异。它的无论的酿酒的特点、生长的特性，跟国外任何一个葡萄品种都是不一样的。所以我们认为蛇龙珠就是中国独有的一个葡萄品种。后来我们想，既然它已经是中国的一个葡萄品种了，我们就应该给它一个中国的正式的名字，所以我们给它的名字改为 Cabernet loong， 龙就是代表中国。对。
Cabernet gernischt or Cabernet loong is still a niche varietal. But Zhang's vision has already started to catch the attention of wine lovers outside China, even in France. Crystal Shen first studied Chinese language in high school in Burgundy, France. At the start of her career, she helped the French consulate in China and French companies promote their wines in China. Now, her focus is in the opposite direction.
Hi, 大家好，我是西格酒庄全球品牌大使陈仙妮。
What do you think is special about Ningxia wines compared to older New World wines?
Well, I think each places which has a different terroir, as we like to say in French, that word that represents climate, soil condition, everywhere it's unique. So Ningxia is no different. You have that fruitiness in the wine that is a great strength on the market because consumers like fruity wines. and then you have that beautiful sunshine, very dry in Ningxia, so we can make wine that are not only very fruity but ripe fruit. So very smooth tanning, very velvety tanning. So that's really thanks to the beautiful Ningxia Henan mountain terroir that we can make this kind of wine.
And there's some special political history with these two wines.
Well, yes. In 2023, when French President Macron visited China, that Jet d'Oeuvre single vineyard Cabernet Long was served at the official dinner, especially for a reception of French president. That is a guy that drinks a lot of wine, right? So it was really good for the promotion of that wine. And this one was the official, our top wine, Siger Estate, was the official national gift from China to France. And I know that Macron asked for a few more bottles to bring back to France. So, you know, I think he loved it.
I'll take your word for it. So why don't we give this one a try and you tell me, like, you know, what I should be tasting for it.
Of course.
All right, cheers.
Cheers! So can you smell those spices, like sweet spices, and what I was mentioning as Chinese dry herbs aromas?
Very mid where you start
Exactly.
smelling the
So
herbs.
when we discuss with more Asian or Chinese people, we will mention Chinese medicinal herbs because they are familiar with. Foreigners don't know anything about Chinese medicinal herbs usually. So I would describe it as minty, those kind of, you know, very fresh herbs or woody taste in the wine.
What has your experience been when you do blind tastings in the international market?
Well, actually, we have found out that it's the best way to promote Chinese wine because so many people don't even know that China produces wine. Then we just do blind tasting. So a lot of our partners and friends around the world, they just bring Chinese wine. They don't say it's Chinese wine, let people taste the wine. And this way, a lot of people realize the quality of Chinese wine. They can't guess that it's Chinese wine simply because they have no idea China can produce wine. Even more so, can produce great wine.
Although Chinese wine has won numerous awards in recent years, it is still very much a new product in traditional wine drinking countries. In 2024, China ranked 15th in wine production, which accounted for only 1.2% of wine produced in the world. The two biggest export markets are Hong Kong and North Korea. They bought about 70% of all the wine that China exported. But Zhang remains optimistic about bringing Chinese wine to the world.
I know that you guys are starting marketing outside of China. Are there particular markets that are more interesting to you or are more interested in you?
我们最开始时候，我们是对传统的葡萄酒消费国，我们是比较感兴趣的。比如说我们的出口市场，我们一开始的重点放在了欧洲和美洲啊，因为这是生产葡萄酒也是喝葡萄酒的地方。2年前开始，我们发现一个很有趣的事，就是亚洲市场其实对中国葡萄酒更感兴趣。我们接待了很多来自于日本、泰国、新加坡的客户。当时我第一反应说：“哇，我说亚洲会喝中国葡萄酒吗？”这是我们自己的担心。但实际上，真正开始做出口了之后，发现，那边的消费者是非常开放的，因为在亚洲很多国家不是葡萄酒的生产国，所以他可以接受来自于世界各地的所有的好的葡萄酒。
Do you think you're trying to make something that is similar to other old or new world wines? Or are you guys trying to make something that is special and different?
每个产区的葡萄酒都应该有不同的风格，这也是葡萄酒的魅力。所以宁夏葡萄酒的话，不应该学习法国的味道，也不应该学习澳洲的味道，它就应该是宁夏贺兰山东路自己的味道。
Then how would you describe the wines that you make?
好喝，
Of course.
这就够了。
American restaurateur Camden Haig also found out about Chinese wine when she opened her first wine bar in Shanghai in 2017. She quickly saw the potential of Chinese wine and started hosting tasting events in New York.
At which point did you think that this concept, or the concept of Chinese making great wines, could be distributed into the US?
When myself and my husband decided to move back to New York last year, I noticed that nobody was bringing Chinese wine into the US. In Shanghai, I started a group that I called China Wine Club. We would throw little events every month featuring different producers, different varietals, different themes. But I realized that there might be potential to move that also to the US and to actually start the export and import process into the US. It's been a very cool journey so far.
What's the reception like? How do people feel about it? Are they usually surprised?
Always surprised. I think the first question is, China makes wine? Which is really amazing because it's so much more exciting to tell somebody something for the first time. For the first shipment coming into the US, I wanted to be very careful to bring in wines that were really surprising. So things that they couldn't necessarily compare apples to apples with wines that they were familiar with. So started with things like orange wines, sparkling wines, now starting to bring in a lot more of these kind of classic profiles, and the reception is great.
Don't you think there's a bit of that element where you put down a plonk at the party and then everyone goes, oh, this is delicious, and you go, actually, it's from China.
Exactly. I think especially in New York, it's a very mature market. Everyone says no one's drinking wine anymore. I don't think that that's necessarily true. I think that they just want to try something different. If you're traveling in your glass, you want to go somewhere you've never been before. So everyone's been so excited, so enthusiastic about Chinese wine. I'm just thrilled.
Wine pairing, especially in fine dining restaurants, is also a crucial way for wine labels to get their feet in the door. Among sommeliers, Chinese cuisine is known to be a challenge for wine pairing. This is not only because of the wide range of flavors in Chinese cuisine, but also simply dishes are often served and shared at the same time. Hong Kong is a major hub for Chinese wine, and many sommeliers here are taking up the challenge to pair Chinese wine with some of the best Chinese dishes the city has to offer.
咁我哋萬豪金殿咧入邊嘅酒單裏邊咧，一定會有呢個中國酒嘅杯頭去做呢個 pairing 啦。我哋揀咗呢3杯咧都係寧夏嘅酒去配我哋呢幾道餸嘅。咁第一杯嘅中國 sparkling wine 咧就係呢個而家攞咗 Decanter 金獎嘅有氣酒嚟嘅。呢個寧夏 D 寶酒莊嘅 sparkling wine 嘅酸度啦，可以令到呢個醬油金魚餃啦，同埋呢個滷水墨魚仔嘅鮮味咧帶到出嚟嘅。
真係諗唔到一個點心可以配一個葡萄酒，因為 sparkling wine 咧係咁好味。因為啱啱入邊嗰啲即係脂肪啊、油脂咧係拱晒所有嗰啲果香啊，去晒個味來上邊嘅喎。
係啊！
哇，好得意啊呢個配搭。
係。
咁我哋下一個就係試乜嘢咧？
第二個配搭咧，我哋就有呢個流世酒莊，亦都係嚟自寧夏嘅 Chardonnay， 咁係一個較為濃郁啲嘅白酒嚟嘅，所以就配到我哋呢度金影玉玲瓏嘅龍蝦嘅鮮甜味道啦，同埋佢入邊有呢個少少嘅蒸蛋，所以配到一個較為厚身啲嘅口感嘅。紅酒咧，我哋又揀咗呢個寧夏嘅迦南美地酒莊，咁佢呢個黑駿馬嘅一個 series 嚟嘅，咁啊果香係較為重啲啦，同埋佢係2018年，咁啊飲落去較為濕度啲，有啲 Bordeaux aging， 咁就配呢個較為肉味重啲嘅脆皮黃牛面盒，同埋跟埋呢個嘅黑椒醬汁嘅，就可以襯托翻呢個紅酒裏邊濃郁嘅果香。
呢一個紅酒咧，同嗰個肉嗰個 fattiness 啊，好有 synergy 啊！即係佢嗰個係帶到嗰個滑味，喺 texture 上面都有一個 play 喺度咯，我覺得。係
入邊嘅單寧啊，同肉嘅入邊嘅 protein 會產生呢個化學作用，令到個口感更加圓滑嘅。
咦，咁我哋已經試咗幾隻內地嘅葡萄酒啦，咁亦都可以同咁多食物產生咁多嘅火花啦。你覺得咧，如果要媲美而家 new 或者 old world 嘅葡萄酒咧，你會點講咧？
葡萄酒嘅生長咧，葡萄根咧需要係時間去喺泥土裏邊發展，吸收更加多嘅養分，令到支酒更加複雜嘅。寧夏產區嘅葡萄酒咧，大約有20年嘅歷史，我相信咧再過多10年嘅時候咧，佢就可以媲美到舊世界頂級嘅葡萄酒嘅水平。
In the beginning, many wine critics compared Ningxia vintages with what they tasted from Europe. Now, the region's winemakers are peeling away such labels to reveal Chinese wines with names and identities of their own. Sip by sip, they are proving that wines as great as those from Bordeaux, Tuscany, or Napa can come from the foothills of Ningxia's Helan Mountains.